Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which came out in 2008, took the series too far into the realm of science fiction. Even though the series has had some unbelievable parts, the artifacts in the original trilogy were based on mysticism and had religious roots. Indiana Jones is most interesting when magical artifacts surround him. When Kingdom of the Crystal Skull showed that ancient aliens existed, the series lost a lot of its appeal. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny will fix this big complaint about the franchise, making it seem like archaeology and history are important to the adventure. How Sicily's warship might shape Indiana Jones 5. The fact that Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is based on a true story is hinted at in the first trailer, which is a big complaint about the first movie. In 1969, during the Cold War and the space race, Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones goes on his fifth adventure. He puts on his fedora and sets out to find the Dial of Destiny. And now NASA scientist Voller, Mads Mikkelsen, wants to get his hands on a mysterious disc. Off the coast of Sicily in 1969, an old warship was found. It was then found again in 1971 by archaeologist Honor Frost and her team. They called it the Marsala ship. The Carthaginians built the ship between 264 BC and 146 BC, making it one of the oldest ocean-going ships and the oldest warship wreck ever found. It was built to fight against the Roman Empire in the Punic Wars, and the Dial of Destiny could use the ship as a plot point. Part of Indiana Jones 5 was filmed in Sicily. Since the movie is set in 1969, it's possible that the Marsala ship has important information about where the dial is. The first Dial of Destiny trailer shows an underwater grave, Indiana Jones, and his goddaughter Helena, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, removing a boulder from a Greco-Roman statue. Based on what we saw in the trailer, the dial is probably hidden on land, but the Marsala ship may hold a clue about where it came from or where it is now. Why Indiana Jones archaeology is a good sign. After the disappointing ending of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny need to bring the franchise back to Earth. The best way to do this is to get involved with archaeology. In Indiana Jones 5, Indiana Jones is older and nearing the end of his academic career. However, the Dial of Destiny can still count on his intelligence and wits more than his strength. Indiana Jones' latest adventure promises to bring back the same thrilling sense of excitement that has kept audiences captivated throughout the series. It's just as enjoyable watching Indy piece together clues to uncover hidden tombs as it is witnessing him punch. This enthralling journey is sure to be an unforgettable one. Indiana Jones' strength is his intelligence. He can use the Staff of Ra to find the Well of Souls or figure out what a Crusader's gravestone says to find the Holy Grail. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny should focus on this part of the character to fix one of the biggest complaints about the franchise. Focusing on Indiana Jones' many different skills as an archaeologist, which he has learned both in the field and in the library, is a good way to change the story so that it makes sense for him to be older. Fight scenes and set pieces are important parts of an Indiana Jones movie, but historical locations like the Marsala ship give the characters time to grow in between the action scenes. Next, every mistake Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny must fix. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny by James Mangold needs to fix the mistakes and out-of-date parts of the bad Indiana Jones movies. Along with the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the first three Indiana Jones movies had some problems, such as racism, that Harrison Ford's new movie needs to deal with. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny will fix this big complaint about the franchise by making it seem like archaeology and history are important to the adventure. Wan Lee, Short Round, can be redeemed. There are few plot details for Indiana Jones 5, and characters like Short Round and Marion Ravenwood could still make cameo appearances, even though actors like Mads Mikkelsen, Antonio Banderas, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and Toby Jones are listed as cast members. Wan Lee's return would go a long way toward making up for the racism problems caused by Ke Huy Quan's child character in Temple of Doom. People often think of Short Round as a racist stereotype of a Chinese person because he speaks broken English and mostly just makes jokes about Indy's love life. But the flawed Indiana Jones movie does show how sweet the relationship between Indy and Wan Lee is, especially after Shorty saves Indy from the voodoo doll attack. With Ke Huy Quan reprising his lead role in Everything Everywhere All at Once, speculations have been rife as to whether Short Round could make a comeback. Since Mutt will not be appearing in The Dial of Destiny, there is an opportunity for a new young sidekick character. Wan Lee could fit this role well, even though he has not been on an adventure with Indiana Jones since Temple of Doom. However, this might complicate their relationship. It remains to be seen if Short Round will make a return and how Wan Lee's involvement would turn out. Mutt Williams must be retconned away. In Indiana Jones 5, where is Mutt? He's not there, to put it simply. Indiana Jones' son, Mutt Williams, Shia LaBeouf, introduced in The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, won't be in the next installment. Rather, Phoebe Waller-Helena Bridges will be taking his place in the family sidekick role. Waller-Bridge will play the role of Indiana Jones' goddaughter, and new footage shows that she'll be with him on his next big mission. There hasn't been a real explanation for why LaBeouf isn't in the new Indiana Jones movie, but it's likely because he made negative comments about Crystal Skull after it came out, which made Harrison Ford publicly scold the actor. Also, LaBeouf is known to be a wild card, and the crew may not put up with his antics on set, even though leaving Mutt out is the right thing to do. The Dial of Destiny has a big problem with his character. The movie will have to find a better way to explain why he isn't there than just a throwaway line. In Crystal Skull, Indy learned how to be a dad, but that storyline has been thrown out. Hopefully, The Dial of Destiny will explain why Mutt left by showing how Indy deals with being unable to be a father figure. Temple of Doom's racist and sexist stereotypes must be rectified. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is often used as an example of Orientalism when Western artists paint a fantastical picture of Eastern culture to make it seem exotic, dangerous, or otherwise interesting. In Temple of Doom, the Indian villains, especially Mullah Ram, are portrayed in a one-note way that stands in contrast to the white characters, who are more developed. Indiana Jones 5 by Mangold must stray away from outdated stereotypes when depicting the cultures that Indy encounters. Rather, it is essential for them to portray these diverse cultures in an authentic light. This means avoiding comedic gags related to foreign foods, such as having Willie Scott be disgusted at the thought of eating monkey brains. Misogyny is an old-fashioned part of the Temple of Doom series that is not unique to it. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, Marion Ravenwood says that Indiana Jones seduced her when she was 16 and he was 27. She even says, "I was a child." This creates an imbalance of power throughout the movie, as Marion is and used as an object of desire by every man. In Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Marion and Indy are portrayed more equally. Willie Scott is also a bad example of ideas about women because she is portrayed as helpless, crazy, and annoying. The good news is that Indiana Jones 5 has already done a great thing by choosing Phoebe Waller-Bridge to play Helena, the second main character after Harrison Ford. Waller-Bridge is known for her feminist beliefs, and her inclusion suggests this film's representation of women will be far more progressive and realistic. Indiana Jones 5 must fix Crystal Skull's alien artifact mistake. In the famous ending of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it was shown that aliens made the crystal skulls. Even Cate Blanchett's character, Irina Spalko, is killed by a CGI alien before a UFO takes off at the end of the movie, which most people didn't like. Indiana Jones 5 must follow one simple rule and go back to being about mythological artifacts, like the Ark of the Covenant, the Sankara Stones, and the Holy Grail, like the first 3 movies. The Indiana Jones series has always been about archaeology, so the science fiction elements added at the end of Crystal Skull felt very out of place compared to the plots of Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and The Last Crusade. People know that the Dial of Destiny will be the title artifact of Indiana Jones 5, but it doesn't look like this new artifact has anything to do with ancient history. This could be a problem for the new movie on the same level as the Crystal Skull. But the biggest mistake that both Crystal Skull and Temple of Doom make is that neither the Sankara Stones nor the Crystal Skulls mean anything to Indy. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, he is clearly interested in finding the mythical Ark of the Covenant, and his father, Henry Jones Sr., Sean Connery, put the search for the Holy Grail ahead of raising Indy. As such, Indiana Jones 5 needs to make the Dial of Destiny personal to Indy so that it becomes easier for the audience to invest in his adventure. James Mangold is known for making great movies like Walk the Line and Logan. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny could become a fan favorite if he fixes the mistakes and outdated parts. It could also make up for how disappointed some people were with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Unfortunately, guys, that is all the time we had for today. Will the fifth film fix its predecessor's mistakes? We'll wait and see. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, cheers!